Well, hello, and welcome to Preparing to Survive and Thrive Homesteading channel with Charlie B. So what am I up to today? Well, today I'm answering that age-old question of what's for dinner. So tonight we're going to do some chickens and potatoes with some peppers. And let me bring you down and I'll show you the recipe. What you're looking at is 7 legs and thigh. Their leg quarters is what they are. So what I'm going to do is start off with some of this Montreal chicken seasoning. It's very good, but I'm not just going to stop there. I'm going to add some of my own stuff to it to kind of change up the taste and make it my own, not just do a seasoning that somebody else created. I know it might sound silly, but it's true. Don't be afraid to play around with spices. Sometimes you end up with a winning combo, and with life, sometimes you don't. So we put some of that on. I just sprinkled it. Then I'm going to take some black pepper. Just put that everywhere. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this in my pellet cook stove. That's also a wood cook stove. But I can't really tell you what the temperature is going to be because it's temperamental. The next item is we have some black truffle sea salt. It's just, this is something I found. It's like, well, that tastes pretty good, and figured I'd go ahead and give it. Now, why I like this is the salt is so coarse. And it's easier for you to press it down in. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a second. And I'm going to use this also, sneak preview, a little bit on the potatoes. And our next item is some of our homegrown thyme. Just doing little sprinkles here and there. I usually just put some of it in my hand like I'm doing here and just taking it and sprinkling it. Just depends on how much chicken you have and how much you want it. Some people don't like the taste. Some people do when it comes to different spices. So play around with them and decide which ones you like and your family likes and go from there. And our next is some whole rosemary leaves. I could have went out and cut up some fresh, but I just didn't make it that far today. And that's okay, because it's going to be just as good like this. Our herb garden, believe it or not, is still going. I actually covered it when we got a couple freezing nights, and then we got some really nice days. Like yesterday was 70. Today is chilly, but it was still really bright and sunny. Okay, now for the secret ingredient, thing that I love one of the most is butter. Now, in this instance, I find it's easier to work with butter that is hard in the refrigerator. And I'm just going to literally cut some of these off. And I'm going to break little pieces off and put them on the chicken legs. Oh, I forgot one thing before I do that. Oops. Okay, hold me to this. Yep, I messed up, but I'm going to redo it. I take and push. Remember I was telling you about the coarse salt? If you push your seasonings into your chicken, it will actually help them stay on there and will not get pushed off from the butter as it melts. Now, back to this. Okay. Yeah, it's all over my fingers, but that's okay. Sometimes messy is more fun than not messy, and it always tastes good. I'm just cutting the pieces of this. It's pretty much about the size of a pat thickness, but then I kind of break it down even more. I'll go ahead and drop this in a few more spots because I have a little bit left. Okay, so I'm going to get this in the oven just like it is, and then we're going to get to work on the potatoes. So I'll be back. Okay, we have some cut up peppers and some potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with, believe it or not, some Creole seasoning. It's a Cajun seasoning. My daughter likes spicy. I'm not going to be real heavy-handed on this because it can get a little warm. And well, I like spice. My husband does, but not a whole lot. I'm just going to sprinkle this on. Now, with this being a prepper channel, here we go. You guys need to keep spices in your pantry. You need to have extras because if you're locked into the house and you don't have a lot of different types of food already put away, freeze-dried, made up, whatever you want, frozen, whatever, and you're stuck with living on what's in your pantry or in your stores, spices can literally change the taste of a boring potato. And definitely have some butter frozen. Now, if you lose power, that's a different story. We'll actually do a little bit of a video another day on losing power and water storage, but we'll think about that in a little bit. And our next item is a little bit of pepper. Now, what I did with these potatoes, before I put them on here, I put them in a bowl, poured a little bit of oil on them, and just mixed them around. I've done this before, just with different seasonings. And this should be really good. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and use some of the black truffle and sea salt again in this one too. I'm not going to push in on it. I'm just going to let it kind of be floating here. And I'm going to use my all-time favorite. I'm going to go ahead and do some butter. I'm just going to break this up. Just like I did with the chicken. Not quite as small. That's all right. Just a little bit because it's already coated in oil. Back to the butter. I am just breaking it up, not in the small pieces as I had with the chicken. So I got some good starch here. A nice little veggie with our peppers to add some good taste to the potatoes. And our next little item is a little bit of thyme also. Oops, well, it kind of didn't get broke up. How did I manage that? There we go. Now, normally when I'd be cooking this and the chicken, if I was doing it in my regular oven, I would go ahead and put it on 350 for about 45 minutes to an hour. And now that's with my gas stove. Now, ranges do have different temperatures and how long it takes. Some of them are off a little bit. And I know gas cooks different than electric because I had electric in my old home. And I'm going to get these in the oven now. And I guess we're going to see how long it takes. I'll keep you posted. We'll check them. Okay, so this is what the chicken looks like. It's been in for not quite an hour. And the veggies, I know it's not done, but it is starting to get crispy. I don't want to open up the oven door because it's only about 300 degrees in there so far. So it's going to be slowly cooked and it's going to be yummy because it's slow cooked. Yeah, I have a light up here so you can see better. And I just pulled the chicken out, and I did check it. It looks absolutely amazing. And there's the potatoes and the peppers for our veggie. I'm going to show you the meat. And I actually am holding this. I don't have my tripod up. So you can see how it's nicely done. It's perfect. Once I get the fork out of the way. So I'm going to get this plated and that to the actual kitchen, and we'll be back. And we're out into the main kitchen. So you see all this broth that I have in here? That's going to taste amazing if I pour it over noodles or rice. I'm definitely going to save that. I'll probably have some leftovers, and I'm going to do a dish if I do, and I will use that for a what's for dinner video too. So you'll be able to use the leftover meal. And the potatoes, oh boy, do those potatoes look good. They are just perfect. And I snuck a taste. They're very good. So I'm going to get it plated, and we'll be having our taste test. Okay, so now my favorite part of the video, the taste test. I already pulled the chicken off the bone, so let's try this out. You can take some of the seasoning in on the meat, and that's what you want it to do other than on the skin. So this is perfect. Maybe add a little bit more salt and pepper for mine, and let's try out the potatoes. And the pepper, very, very good combination. Oh, the pepper is really amazing. I am going to add a little bit more salt and pepper because I didn't taste this before. And now I know I need more salt and pepper. But there you go. There's my plate, and there's my taste test. And I'm going to sit down and finish this, and I'll be talking with you soon. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, please. I'll be seeing you soon. Charlie B signing out.